Now for the forwards. Christian Pulisic, Captain America, the LeBron James of soccer. This 24-year-old from Hershey, Pennsylvania has got the weight of a nation on his shoulders. He was one of the first US stars to break out. Only at 15 years old, he was already playing for Borussia Dortmund. Most likely to be the captain of the squad and the name that everybody knows. This is going to be the US's go-to guy. With lethal pace and good dribbling, quick, he likes to go down the byline and maybe look for a negative ball, but he's not afraid to shoot either, scoring a lot of goals for the US. The best part of Christian Pulisic's game is that he'll just pop into spaces, you'll get him the ball, he's going to be creative, maybe he'll go down wide, maybe he'll be fast, so many different options. This is the problem with Christian Pulisic though. We put so much pressure on him, expecting him to carry this nation, this golden generation to glory for the US, that sometimes he tries taking over the game and doing too much. So, will he succumb to the pressure or will he beat us by being himself? Jesus Ferreira, 21 from San Marcos, Colombia, is yet another product of the famous FC Dallas Academy. And this kid, just to show you how mature he is, at 21-year-old is already captaining in semi-final squad appearing FC Dallas, as well as being one of the top goal contenders for the league. This is most likely the starting striker for the US, which is great because that's something we haven't had during the cycle, even though we've been a golden generation of strikers. However, he is in a 6-game drought with no goals contributed. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get out of this slump for the World Cup. You can expect him to play very fast and furious with lightning fast pace that not a lot of people expect. He may catch a few defenders lacking. But when it comes to inside the box, he likes to float around and bounce into the moment and get a quick little tap in. Jordan Morris, the 28-year-old from Seattle, Washington, is someone MLS fans are really excited to see about. He's been terrorizing American defenses all the way back to his time at Stanford University. Morris has been a staple of US soccer for a long time, but not internationally, just throughout the club level. Internationally, he never really got that break, and the question always was, can Morris do it at the next level? Can he do it for the national team? And he finally got a chance when he went overseas, but within one of his first moments of the game, he ends up a season-ending injury, which put him out for the whole year, and he came back to MLS. Jordan is known for his speed and a lot of size. He's very powerful and he likes to attack directly, being a phenomenal player for Seattle Sounders, winning MLS Cup, being part of the Supporters Shield, and being part of one of the best MLS teams. The question is, can we get this form from Jordan into the national team, or have these injuries of 2 serious injuries back-to-back going to slow him down and he's not going to be able to help us out wide? Giovanni Reyna. This 20-year-old may come from Sunderland, England, but he is part of US soccer royalty. Both his mom and his dad played for the US national team. More notably, his father, Claudio, who had a very successful career with the men's national team. The young Reyna stars for Borussia Dortmund and is without a doubt the most creative and talented player on this US national team. Thinking so quickly and be able to go on crazy runs, he also is one of the slowest players on the team and is quite injury prone, especially with his hamstrings. That's something that's going to be a major concern for the US. His best position is playing in that attacking midfielder role, but he usually plays out wide right for the US because we're not able to fit everyone else in. Getting the ball to his feet and letting him create is going to be absolute nightmare for all defenders and something key for the US. Anytime the ball gets to Gio's feet, it creates absolute magic. So let's hope we can do it, and maybe he can even create one of these moments in the World Cup. Josh Sargent, the 20-year-old from O'Fallon, Missouri, is ready to light up the world. Sargent is someone that all the US fans have heard about for years and been avid to see him. Everyone's saying he's the next striker, he's the next guy. The question is, do we play him at striker? Do we play him out wide? Do we play him in a 2-man system? Finding out how to get the best out of Josh Sargent has been a question for all. And it really was a question for Norwich City, as last season he made a few appearances but really didn't get on the goal tally, and their team ended up getting relegated. But this season, Josh Sargent is finally showing this is the guy everyone's been talking about, and he is him. He had a great end to the US men's qualifier cycle, and he already has 9 goals and 2 assists in 19 matches for Norwich this season. That is a very impressive tally. Sargent is seriously fighting for that starting spot up top for the US men's national team. In the past, Berhalter has mostly used him as a sub coming off on the right wing, but he likes to tuck in a little bit to create a little bit of an overload in the center for the defense. Tim Weah. This 20-year-old from Rosedale, New York has a lot of pressure on his hands, and he's dealt with it quite well. Tim Weah is the son of 1955 Ballon d'Or winner George Weah, who's currently the president of Liberia. Once all US fans heard Weah was coming through the US ranks, we were so ecstatic. And finally, in these final qualifier matches, we saw why we were so ecstatic, as he lit up the tournament with many injuries coming to players like Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Giovanni Reyna. Who was going to step up? And that was Tim Weah. He absolutely saved us, is a large reason why we were at this tournament. In games where we didn't have an option, he became the option. Expect to see him on the right wing, blistering pace, and he's willing to track back and help defenders. Tim Wei is an absolute threat, and it's really going to be hard to take him out of that starting lineup. Haji Wright, the 20-year-old from Los Angeles, California, is where we get the size in this tournament. Standing at 6'3", this is going to be an absolute nightmare for defenders to guard up top. Playing for Antalyaspor in Turkey, this pick was a shock for a lot of fans. Not because for his lack of quality, but because he is a quality striker that the coach didn't really seem to rate too much. Making multiple appearances for some of the squad, but also not making it. Didn't get too much playing time and would come on as a sub up top, sometimes even out wide when Christian Pulisic would move to the center. Haji Wright is someone that US fans are excited to see, but haven't really got to see a lot. Not many knew if he was actually going to even make the squad, but scoring 9 goals in these last 12 games, he kind of made himself undeniable. So let's hope we get this in-form striker firing away for the US.